We are back now with Jennette McCurdy. She is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of I'm Glad My Mom Died. We watched her grow up on TV, and now she just released her debut novel, Half His Age. Welcome, Jennette. Congratulations on the new novel. It's really great to be with you here. Tell us a little bit about this story, because it might not be what people expect.
Yeah, Half His Age is an exploration of female rage and power and desire, as told through the lens of a very lonely and ravenous 18-year-old girl.
A lonely and ravenous 18-year-old girl.
I guess as they all are. I feel like everybody at 18 is lonely and ravenous.
And it's almost like as we all are,
yeah,
because
I'm
you
33,
are writing.
I'm lonely and ravenous.
You're writing from a really personal place here.
Yeah.
And I read this article, an interview with you, where you said you were writing from a place of anger, and that helped fuel you as a writer. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I find anger to be incredibly mobilizing and useful as an emotion. I feel like as women, we're so often told to, accommodate the people around us and be polite and be kind at the expense oftentimes of our own well-being. And so this is a really important way for me to channel my own anger, and I hope the message carries through in the book how useful anger can be for women everywhere if only we come in contact with it and don't just suppress it and deny it.
How do you think about that when it comes to overcoming it? Like, are you staying in anger, or do you move forward from it?
Well, the writing for me is a way of channeling that anger in a healthy way. That's the way that I move through it, and that I find closure in areas where there maybe wasn't any. And it's definitely a theme in Half His Age that I hope women take away from it, is how can I make contact with my anger and allow it to help me and take from it what I can.
Transcend.
Exactly.
And this movie will transcend, this will transcend your novel. It is going to the screen, and you are incredibly involved in that process as well. What is that like for you to translate something that you poured so much of your life and time into to a new project? It
feels so important for me to be a part of whatever it is that I write in any possible iteration. So, I've adapted Half His Age into a screenplay, and I absolutely feel in order to execute it's so pretentious sounding, but in order to execute the vision as well as I can, it's really important for me to be the one who's writing it, and I'm also directing, and that also feels key.
You're playing a lot of roles. How are you learning to play these new roles?
I guess I think it's following my instincts. I have really strong instincts. I denied them for a long time, and they're right. It's no use fighting them. I just have to follow my gut. I continue to remind myself that every day.
Where was the change for you? How did you realize that you needed to stop ignoring them?
Probably in my 20s. I feel like we all go through so many changes in our 20s, and that was really a transformative time for me, and a time of self-discovery, and I learned so much about myself and so much about how unhelpful it is to deny myself my emotions.
What would you say to other women who are watching this right now? They might not feel like they've gone through that transformation. How did they do that? How did you do it, like in terms of the actual mechanical steps you started taking differently?
Follow your rage. Literally pay attention to the things that bring you fury, that you feel so upset about, because there's so much useful information in that. You can't go wrong if you just pay attention to it, if you just give yourself a chance.
How do fans react to you?
Very kind. Now, I grew up acting, and it was a completely different kind of fan response then, but now I feel a genuine connection with people who approach me about my writing. People have already started coming up to me about Half His Age, and it's a interaction rooted in mutual respect and genuine connection.
Genuine connection. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Jennette, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Jennette McCurdy, Half His Age is out now.